We live. Hold up. Let me no. Oh wait. Let me try to get your audio is missing on my stream. Let me just get your audio running up and running. Give me 1 sec. Give me 1 sec.
Him.
All right. There you are. Cool. Your audio is on stream
Hold on
now.
1 second.
And by yes, we cannot hear him.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yo.
Can you hear me or no?
Oh yeah, we can't. But you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your audio is very dim.
Okay.
But you can't.
Is that right? My audio is?
No, Eric, you're fine. Who am I speaking to, by the way? Our guest for the day.
It's Jordan. Oh yeah. So I can hear Jordan a little bit. Hey Jordan, you know what it is sometimes, Kurt? I think that the spatial audio is it gets fucked up if we get too far away from like the source of it or wherever it is.
Yeah.
Jordan, would you mind like just turning on just getting out of the app and then signing back in? And actually, Kurt, let's all do that. Let's all hop out and then in about 10, 15 seconds, go ahead and hop back in.
Let's do it.
Okay, cool.
Okay. See ya.
See ya. All right, let's try this again.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yep.
Yeah, okay, cool. And I sound okay?
Yeah, you sound fine.
Okay. Okay, well, Mr. Jordan is going to be joining us here shortly. So thanks for everybody who's tuning in. Feel free and say hello in the chat or whatever in the Twitch chat. We're waiting here for Jordan to join us. And Kurt, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Had a relaxed day today.
Yeah.
Yep. How are you?
I am doing. Yo, what up?
Oh.
Good. Better?
He's here.
Too quiet.
Sounds perfect.
Can you hear it?
I'm here. Sounds perfect?
Yeah.
Good.
Sweet. I can hear you guys.
Awesome. We're all here. Jordan, thank you, sir, for joining us. Yeah. You look great. You sound great.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like this avatar is registering like my bones in real life actually feel. That's what it feels like I look like when I walk, but I'm just a standing up guy. I got a fucked up knee and a fucked up ankle in real life, and this is what I mentally think I look like. So this is pretty good residual self-image. Thanks, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. I was like thinking in my mind, just, from what I know of your online presence, how do I create an avatar that perfectly represents, your physical nature? And, we did it.
The old stepper. That's my dance move right there.
Let me give you a couple little tips here. If you press the A button on the right controller, you can see my man Kurt, who is teching the show. And Kurt, please introduce yourself.
Hello.
To Jordan here.
Hi, I'm Kurt. Controlling these cameras.
Hi, Kurt.
How are you doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm just hanging out. I'm just being in the VR and we're like twins. Oh, we're the same. Great.
Yeah.
So
you look like a
also
newborn
that
baby.
brings us.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like a newborn baby. That's for sure.
If you press X on your
X.
controller, left controller,
Yeah.
you can kind of bring up a menu, and if you click on the little person icon at the top left, you can. There's a few different avatars you can choose from.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Oh, but it changes both. Oh, you're just changing at the same time.
Yeah. So
nice. Oh man, her teeth are something.
Yeah. So yeah. So anywho, by the way,
Cool.
and for anybody who's out there watching on Twitch or anywhere else, this world is sort of like a piece of shit. Basically, it's basically like a car that I've been duct taping together. So if we have technical
I like this guy. I'm going with this guy.
Cool. Yeah, if we have tech difficulties, which often we do, just let's roll with it and we'll figure it out. So yeah, man. Like, tell me. I don't want to just kind of keep jabbering away. I want to hear a little bit more about you. Tell me about what. Just give me like the basic cliff notes, because my dude Jasper, who is a VR performer and a adventure lab, he said you're an awesome dude. You're super funny. You do VR stuff. So that's what I know. Fill in some other stuff for me, if you please.
Well, Jasper and I work together on like an independent project we're trying to develop. I don't think we're supposed to talk about it. I don't know. So I won't talk about it. We're just working on a thing. That's cool. But he met me through the people at Flipside XR. Are you familiar with them?
Yeah. Yep. I know those guys.
Yes. So I've been working with Flipside since 2017, creating content with them. I met Les down at an accelerator in San Mateo. And I met him through a friend that I went to high school with in a town of like 5,000 people in the middle of nowhere, Kansas. He was sitting next to Les at this accelerator, and they were looking for a comedian. And he was like, I know a comedian. So we wrote a 10-episode series and produced it using Flipside over the course of 10 weeks. And it was just like a daily show, like the, weekend update kind of idea, host and a picture-in-picture gag, but it was from the perspective of an alien race. So I was like an alien host of a show. We made a bunch of Photoshop gags and stuff like that. And then we put them up on YouTube. It was fun. I've been working with them since then, done a couple other projects. And now I use Flipside exclusively to do stand-up comedy shows on Zoom because it's a lot of fun. And I don't know if you know this about Zoom comedy. It's generally not fun. So
yes,
yeah,
I've witnessed some of that. Although I will say that Kurt is a awesome live stream tech, and Kurt techs a lot of live stream Zoom shows that. Some of them are not bad. Some of them are good, right, Kurt?
Yeah. No, I've definitely done a couple that have been like really fun. It's just that there has to be some production involved into it. You can't just like, hey, let's all get in a video conference and it's going to be magic. It's terrible.
Dude, I mean, far and away, they're mostly garbage, right?
Absolutely. Would have to agree.
Yeah. That's cool, man. Well, so, and, just well, I'm interested in all of that stuff. I want to know more, because, the way I am connected to Flipside, I haven't actually talked to the guys at Flipside in a long, long time. It was actually because, when I learned kind of like to code and Unity and stuff, I was already pretty far down the road with comedy stuff in New York. I live in New York, by the way. Where are you now? Currently,
I've just moved away from San Francisco to a town outside of Portland. We just I was running a real life show for a long time in the San Francisco Bay Area, and it was doing really well. And then all this shit happened, and we were just like, one of my co-producer, he moved to LA, and then I was just like, well, there's no sense in paying this Bay Area rent, so we're in the middle of nowhere right now.
Yeah. That's smart. Well, and especially when you got the VR stuff, I mean, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, it's been great. I
like
mean, VR has been a saving grace for my personal comedy stuff, and I'm really appreciative of it.
So you do like your own stuff and are building a your own outlet on. I'm guessing like where do most of your shows go up? Do they go up on YouTube? Like if you were going to point people to kind of where to find you online, where would it be primarily?
Well, if you want to find me online, I'm on all social media channels at Strange Humorist. I don't really post much of my shows as I've actually used it as a tool to get corporate gigs, and I do private comedy shows for corporate companies. I do virtual happy hours for corporations.
That's cool,
and
dude.
it's been fucking super rad. I haven't waited tables since I got laid off in March, and I'm trying to not ever do that again. So I've just been primed for this particular moment, as unfortunate as it is, because I've worked with Flipside so closely. It's a really amazing set of tools. You can give your live show a production element while using the tools in real time, and people, for the most part, understand nothing about production. So they just don't understand what they're watching. Whereas you are, at me personally, I've been doing stand-up for about 8 years, and I'm going through like material and stuff, but also I have all these camera angles set up so I can do like a wide shot when I'm in some kind of premisey land, and then I can smash zoom for the punchline kind of thing. It's just like, it's this kind of art. To me, it makes the comedy and an actual idea of art come together, because you're directing yourself in real time to something that an audience is observing. It's a lot of fun, man, and I've just been having so much fun in VR with comedy, and I'm excited to know. That's why I was excited to meet you, because Jasper was like, there's another comedian like in here doing shit, and I was like, I gotta meet this guy because I want to know what people are doing.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. And it's so funny, because sometimes I it's like anything, especially coming from like the I don't know what the scene is like in San Francisco, or like kind of where you come from. I mean, if it's stand up, I would guess that like the competitiveness is a part of it. It sure is like in New York and the comedy scene I come from.
Oh yeah, for sure.
More of like the kind of like sketch and improv side of things. Like was really involved with Upright Citizens Brigade in New York before that all kind of went bust. And part of what I kind of get caught up sometimes in terms of like where I'm going with in entertainment, but also in tech as well. I'm always like looking to see what other people are doing, and that like competitive mindset creeps in. But really and truly, the landscape is so wide open with all this stuff that it's better to just kind of like relax, connect with people, see what other people are enjoying, and enjoy the ride. Because like even in the way you're describing what you're up to, it's like a very different mindset than what I'm doing. Sometimes I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah.
But my goal with like this,
you're having fun, dude. This is awesome.
I'm having fun. Like I wanted to create like a flip. I basically, like I haven't used Flipside in quite a while. I would love to check back in and see kind of, because I know that their tool set is just deep at this point. But
ever expanding, man. I mean, that team of people, like they constantly are developing it, and it's getting better all the time. So it would be cool to work with you on something in there if you wanted to. I mean, like the multiplayer sessions are really stable these days, and if you have like a decent internet connection, it's a lot of fun, and you can do a sketch. We could film a sketch and export it and edit it like traditional film, like fairly quickly. The turnaround on just like a quality looking animation is pretty amazing.
Yeah. I dude, I'd love to figure something like that out. With this whole thing, I've kind of been trying to develop this as a sort of like Flipside-esque kind of virtual production tool, and the only reason why I'm not using Flipside itself is just because with Unity, I've got more control over stuff, but that's a good thing and a liability because things break a lot. And in Flipside or something like that, like they don't. How come? And I know that part of the reason is the answer to this is because you got into it through your connection with Flipside, but like, do you fuck around with VR chat or any other like social platforms or?
On the social platforms, there's a group of comedians in Texas that started a room in Altspace. And I've done probably 15, 20 shows on Altspace since March or April, I guess.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they do shows. They do shows Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It's just like a traditional stand-up show. There's a handful of comics. Everybody does like it depends on the show, but most of the time it's like 7 comics doing about 10 minutes. And then on the Saturday shows, they do 3 comics and everybody does 20 minutes.
And then I would guess, or do they tape those shows or no?
They were streaming them straight to like Facebook Live and YouTube and stuff like that. And then there was just like it's comedy, man. I mean, like it gets dramatic as soon as there's like multiple egos crashing against each other. And so like somebody's in there and they know that all their stuff is up online indefinitely for free. They get all protective about it. So they just stopped like streaming it. And now they're just trying to focus on the in-app audience being there because and the reality of it is like nobody was really watching the streams anyway. It's just people being really like precious about their material, and it's like nobody has an original idea. Easy.
Well, I get that too. I mean, it's I feel like shoot, I was going. There's a awesome place. I'll plug this place, Wonderville in New York, because it's just an excellent type place. Have you been to what's it called? 2-Bit Circus in California. I think it's outside of LA.
I haven't.
Okay, it's like a alt kind of arcade on steroids. It's like all of these really awesome, cool, homemade arcade games, and that's what its corollary is. This place, Wonderville in New York, and they were streaming a comedy event, and I showed up to like help tech it, and the comedians there, they were like, I know we're supposed to be streaming the show, we don't want to because. And it made sense. It was kind of annoying on the one hand because I was looking forward to teching it and stuff like that and making it look good. But on the other hand, yeah, I mean, if it's a show, if it's a stand-up show, then you don't want to shoot your wad and blow all your material and then it's online and then. So I get that too.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, after I didn't really think of it that way. For me, it was just like shit. If anybody sees it, then great. But I don't know. It's just. The whole space is kind of weird right now, and people just want an outlet. For me, it's just like I just want the stage time. I don't really care because honestly, the alt space events, they'll be anywhere from 30 to the most I've seen in one of those is like 70. And it's pretty consistent throughout the show once it starts because there's always it's a revolving door, 2 people leave, 2 people come in. It's just kind of like it always stays pretty stable at wherever the show is, maybe 20, 30 minutes in. And it's just been nice to be able to like have that reciprocity again. Whereas sometimes in Zoom shows, depending on who's producing it, the producer might tell everybody, mute all your mics, and then you're sitting there telling jokes to silence. It's like, this is torture. This is put me in Guantanamo Bay and tell me to do my hot 10 for eternity to no laughs. It's terrible.
Dude, actually, that'd be a great sketch that we could work on in Flipside.
Hey, yeah, totally. Just sit someone in a room alone with a Zoom comedy show to get information out of them.
Actually,
tell us where the secrets are.
That's one of the. And have you been using your Quest mostly for your like Zoom corporate gigs or some other hardware?
For the alt space gigs, I always do untethered, but for the corporate stuff, I do tethered because honestly, I feel like the tracking is still better. The tracking's better on the CV1 than it is on the Quest 2.
Okay.
Sometimes your hands on the Quest will just like bug out, and like you have to like shake your if you leave your hands at your side for too long or anything like that, and then all of a sudden one of your arms is like, and you have to shake it to remind it like, hey, I'm using this, I'm doing a thing.
Right.
So I use a tethered situation for live shows that I care about, but any of the alt space stuff, I mean, I'm just in alt space. Their avatars don't even have like limbs, it's just hands and bodies. So
right. Yeah. That's really cool. Yeah, man, I feel like I've got a couple of other friends. I mean, like I said, I'm coming more from improv and sketch world. So I mean, I'm just about on in a place where I've got enough shit in here that I can start filming some sketch stuff in here. But I have like I've got some buddies that are stand-ups that are more interested in the stand-up lane of and how it relates to VR, and it'd be really fun to connect some of those guys to you and
absolutely
talk about some of how that works.
I think one of the problems right now with VR with like stand-up comedy, that at least that idea, that iteration of comedy entertainment, it's having a hard time expanding because I don't know if it's a matter of accessibility or a lot of people just don't know about it or what, but there's this standoffishness about some traditional stand-ups that live for the crowd or whatever, that they won't put this stupid fucking headset on and just try. But as soon as I've heard of any like veteran-ish comic doing like one of these shows where you say a bunch of jokes and all these active hot mic avatars spit back sound at you, it's pretty fucking close. It's like, well, this is good. This is why I do the tell the jokes thing. So you get that feeling of like you're in a virtual world that is not your sad living room, where that's where the Zoom disconnect is. You've been completely you've been stripped of all your weapons as a stand-up comic when you're not on a stage, well lit, and everybody else is sitting in tables supposed to be quiet, or laugh when it's funny. But in Zooms, it's just like, it's completely disorienting. It's not a lot of fun for people. And now there's this whole like, I'm not doing anything until live stand-up's back. And it's like, well, fucking buckle up, because it's going to be a while, So... Or throw a headset on and check this shit out. I don't know how many comics I've told, like, check out what's going on in VR. You will want to be there now instead of way later, because the stage time is going to get spread thin. That's what's going to happen. I'm sitting here doing half hours all the time and shit. As soon as there's a fucking comedian with a name and 20, 30 more follow suit, it's going to be like, oh, cool. You might be getting 5 minutes sometime this month,
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Well, no, I know what you mean. How is the like lag? Is there lag when you do, in terms of like getting a response from the audience, or no?
In the VR shows, like real-time shows? No, I think it's all pretty good. I mean, as long as the room, because Allspace has had all that fucking money pumped into it lately, that it's the environments, as long as your environment that you've built is stable and the event is under like that 50, 60 people in the same space, that's kind of the sweet spot, So as long as it stays there and your personal internet connection is nice and smooth, you're going to be having a nice time. But then like, when the comedian on stage has a shit internet connection, because they won't make it through a 10-minute set without having to re-enter the space.
That's got to be a killer when you're on stage and you're like, hold on, let me come back in the room. Yeah. Like, imagine that if you were sitting in a club and the comedian's like, I got to go like repark my car and then I'll come back to the stage.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then what about like hecklers and stuff like that? I mean, I know it's Christmas.
There's mods in the rooms and shit.
Yeah. Are there moderators?
They got mods in all the rooms.
Okay.
Yeah, you can like point at someone and click the boot, and just kick them.
Okay.
And so for me, it's like, it always depends on the situation, because this has happened to me a handful of times now. I've done enough of those shows in alt space to where it's like people come in the middle, they just like spawn in the room and they just start talking because they don't know what the hell's going on. You know, they're like, what the hell is this? It's usually very small children, at least audibly. You think, you know, like, what's this crap? You know, what the hell is this game? And then sometimes it's straight up like it's people coming in there and being assholes. Like one time somebody goes, "Can I ask you a question?" And I'm like, "Sure." And he goes, "Why do you suck so much dick?" And I was just like, all right, well. And then he got booted, and it was upsetting because I immediately was like, unemployment just ran out today. So but he didn't get to hear that, you know, it wasn't, he was gone. So sometimes you're like, you want to fuck with people, and then sometimes you can just bury yourself by. I've definitely gotten mad one time in a VR show, which was not conducive to creating laughter.
That's so funny. Hey, you know what would be the $1 million idea would be a system with dealing with hecklers that would allow you to draw energy from the heckle and then make a better joke on the back end, but then ultimately boot them out when
you were finished with them.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, totally.
Actually, you know what would be cool is if you could like somehow shut them up and then just like, I don't know, just wad them up into a ball and shoot them into a basketball hoop or something.
Totally. And that's what I'm like. So for me, in the future of comedy in VR is what I'm really looking forward to. And I've talked to there's a couple other people that I'm like interested in pursuing larger projects with. But this idea of coming into VR and trying to recreate the stand-up experience for VR, very stupid to me. I think it's a waste of technology because we don't need that. You know, how can we move comedy experiences forward? You know, like because this is VR, you know, like we don't need a fucking stage and a bunch of people sitting here watching some loser tell jokes. Let's let's defy physics. Let's do things that we can't actually, and be funny while we do it. You know, like there's got to be some more of a, almost, you know, like a comedy variety show, but it's more of like an immersive experience. There's no need for a 90-minute to a 2-hour stand-up show. So when you could just be sitting there playing Beat Saber instead, you're going to sit here and watch a bunch of broke dick comics complain or whatever. Like, come on. That's so stupid.
Yeah. Well, I like your vision for that because, you know, it's my vision as well. And but I need reminding of it because oftentimes I get bogged down into one thing or I'm doing another project over here. And you know, so I'd be really interested, you know, like Jasper's awesome. You seem like a
amazing
great dude
guy.
that could be really fun to get together, even if it was just like some one-off things, like some sketches or just some, you know, some kind of like one time only.
Jasper's hilarious, man. He's a great immersive actor, and I love working with him on the stuff that we do. So building this, I feel like right now it's like such a pioneering time in VR when there is this like apprehensiveness of other people who want this other thing to keep happening that's just not happening. Then right now for me it's just like, well, then let's find who's into it, you know, like let's make it happen, because what else are we going to do? You know, like this is, to me, this is a very obvious avenue of future entertainment that I don't know why people are being so resistant to. And it's not even like, oh, I want to get in my headset and never be out in the world. It's like, dude, I can do this shit for 2 hours and I got to fucking take it. It's burning my eyeballs through the back of my skull, you know, like I don't want to just be in VR all the time, but it's such a cool thing that like we shouldn't sit here and act like it's a bad thing. It can be a bad thing if all you're doing is jacking off in your house to a VR headset or whatever. But if you're trying to use it constructively and like create something that is fun and like enriching to someone's life, you know, why not? Let's do it. So I would love to work with you because you're doing this, man. I mean, you're in here like trying to, as you said, duct tape a car together or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. There's a fucking 80-foot, I don't know, 300-foot tall RoboCop in here. That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I do. It's Kurt. incidentally is jacking off in his VR headset right now. So that's his feelings were hurt by your comment. But
hi guys.
Yeah. Thanks, Kurt. Yeah, come back. Kurt actually is not jacking off, and he's not even in a VR headset. He's on a desktop operating the cameras. But anyways, hey, look, I usually only go for about half an hour, so we just wrap it up here. So keep it short.
Whatever,
and
man.
sweet. Yeah, but listen, Jordan, awesome having you. Like, let's keep it going, man. I would love to, continue to connect and kind of build out a team and kind of, a network of people that are doing this kind of stuff. So let's connect soon, and maybe we can try something in Flipside next time.
That sounds awesome, man. I'd love to.
Cool. All right, folks, for those out there watching, thanks so much, and we'll see you next time on Yarworld. Thanks, Kurt.
Thank you. Bye, y'all.
Thanks, Kurt.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.